Kenya is a signatory to treaties that provide for the right of an infant to exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months. The government should therefore promote and encourage breastfeeding and provide the specific measures that would present opportunities for working mothers to continue expressing their milk and breastfeeding their infant or young children. Furthermore, the practice of breastfeeding may save the country's valuable foreign exchange that may otherwise be used for milk importation. Presently, Madam Speaker, female employees exit the workforce or stop breastfeeding in order to secure their job security, which is very unfair. No woman should be forced to compromise the health of her child in order to make a living. We know, Madam Speaker, our maternity leave currently, maybe this is something that we need to look at, the labor laws, allows only a maternity leave for 3 months and a paternity leave for a month. Madam Speaker, the recommendation for exclusive breastfeeding where a child should not be given anything including water for 6 months, then he does a mother who needs to report to work after 3 months. So that means the option that is required is for this mother, Madam Speaker, either to start giving the other milk, which I don't want to call the names. We have categories of various imported milk that we have in this country, or you have to breastfeed, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to give my personal experience because I got my baby 10 years ago when I was still serving in this house. And it was torture for me when I came back, Madam Speaker, to look for a place to express my milk because I'm one mother who believes in breastfeeding a child for 2 years, not 6 months. And so after my 3 months, Madam Speaker, I had to look for a place where I'll be expressing my milk. And I will tell you, it's a shame, Madam Speaker, that in this house, even now as I speak, the only crèche that we have, it is very far, somewhere near Red Cross, for the people who know where Red Cross is. And it's not really an environment that you feel comfortable. So I ended up going and chasing my driver in the car to sit down and express my milk. And I had to get a very special bag to be able to carry that milk home so that the milk doesn't spoil, for the child to take the milk when I'm away. So, Madam Speaker, in this bill, Part 1, Clause 1 and 2 of the bill provides the preliminary matters, including the title of the bill and implementation terms used in the proposed act. And in Part 2, we have Clause 3 to 10, where the bill provides for the fundamental principles and rights at work for a breastfeeding mother. It provides for the right to freely breastfeed or express one's milk for the baby. It also places an obligation on employers to provide breastfeeding working mothers with rooms to either breastfeed or express their milk. It also provides for standards of such rooms. Madam Speaker, if you go to our airports, and this happens, I don't know whether it's only in Africa, because when you travel, and I know you have traveled, you go to the airports, you go to Dubai, you go to the major airports that you know, Heathrow and the rest, you find that there are very specific rooms for mothers to breastfeed or even change their children. But come home, the only place you find like a small table, it is in the toilet, Madam Speaker. And we know those young ones, they pick infections very fast. So we are saying move the breastfeeding mothers, move the mothers who have these children, the small babies, from toilets to a room in any building that can just be a clean one, provide a comfortable seat. It's not expensive, Madam Speaker, just a room. We have very many high-rises in this country. So even in this house, Madam Speaker, just near here, where a mother doesn't need to miss a bill or to come to the house, around here where we have the offices of the leadership here, we can get one room, Madam Speaker, where you can get a seat, where we can get a small fridge. I can put my milk there, and when I'm going home, I pick it up, and I label it very well, Madam Speaker. So the bill further provides for baby changing tables. This is important because the greater majority that is public find it unsanitary to change a baby in public setting, such as restaurants, Madam Speaker. We have seen women being chased in restaurants because they are told they are showing their breasts when they are breastfeeding their children. Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate the government, especially on the new markets that they are doing, that these new markets now have a place so that Ule Mama Mboga, the mother who has carried the child to go and sell nyanya, tomatoes, to go and sell mboga, that she can be able to have a very nice and decent place to change even a nappy of her child. So we're not just talking about working mothers, but even the ones who are working in informal sectors, that even in our marketplaces, we can have those rooms specifically for those mothers. They can change Maybe a child can take a nap, or Madam Speaker, they can also be able to breastfeed in privacy and in decency, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this provision will also cater for persons who are traveling from long distances in the accompaniment of babies, ensuring that in each public restroom, a baby changing facility is provided. This part also provides for a general offense under this act. So whether we are having bus stations, we have long distances buses. So where we have bus stations, we have a specific room, not inside the restroom, Madam Speaker, but at the side where these mothers can change and breastfeed their babies. Part 3 of the bill, we have clause 11 to 12 that provides for power of the Cabinet Secretary to make regulations for the better carrying out of this proposed act, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as I ask Honorable Wanyonyi to second, because I want he for she, the men who stand for women. And we want to appreciate, Madam Speaker, that bringing a life, having a child is very important. Many women are opting not to have children. We need to have our babies. So the ones who choose, and especially the young girls, in this house, I understand we didn't have a breastfeeding place because then the ladies who were appointed or nominated or came to Parliament were past their childbearing age. But now, Madam Speaker, we have honorable members who are less than 30 years. Some are getting married when they're in this house. So they will not stop giving birth because now they are members of Parliament. They are human beings. They need to have their children, and we don't need to limit any one of them. Let us lead by example from this house to any public facility.
Order, Honorable Sabina Chege. Honorable Charles Ngusi Anguna, member for Mwingi West, what is out of order? What specifically is out of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There's nothing out of order. I'm just enjoying the way the motherly character of Sabina Chege is trying to express this motion with a lot of emotions, and also I fully support it, but I am looking forward to contributing it because I'm a new father in town.
I'll take that to be part of canter and banter for the House and allow the Honorable Sabina Chege to proceed.
Allow me to congratulate Honorable Member for being a new father in town. Well done. And Madam Speaker, I also want to speak to our girls and tell them breastfeeding is fashionable. Let us know that the girls think that when they give birth, they want to give the formula milk to their babies and not to breastfeed. Breastfeeding, the breast milk is the only nutritious, 100%, that has all the nutrients that a child needs, including the growth of a brain of a child. And I am very sure Honorable Dr. Nyikal will speak about the importance of that 6 months exclusive breastfeeding. So to our girls in Kenya, don't be lied to anyone that when you don't breastfeed, those breasts will not fall down one day. It comes with age. So breastfeed is better for the breast to fall for a reason, instead of you saying you want to deny your child that natural immunization, those natural nutrients that are needed there. And I strongly believe that no woman should be forced to compromise the health of her child in order to make a living, because a lot of institutions, and want to give a warning, they will say when you get employed, when you get pregnant, go home. Or when you have to report at this time, I urge the employees, the employers also, Madam Speaker, to have reasonable working time for the breastfeeding mothers. You have been a mother like me. You know when your breasts are full of milk, you cannot concentrate. So when especially that milk is full and start coming out, it becomes very uncomfortable for a mother. So for the employers, let the breastfeeding mother come, might be slightly late, might be at 10, let them leave early. It is just a matter of 6 months, and because there is 3 months for the leave, maternity leave, so it might be 3 months only. But that mother is going to be more productive. She's going to be more happy. The child is going to be more healthy. And so, as I conclude, I wish to state that I believe that this bill, when enacted into law, will go a long way in protecting the right of breastfeeding mothers and preserve their dignity at work and in public places. It will ensure that the women are not discriminated from employment based on childbirth and the conditions that they come with it. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the committee that handled this matter on the social protection. Honorable members, you can have a copy of a report that the Committee on Social Protection consider this bill. We went through a lot. I want to also congratulate many institutions that came in to give their views. Madam Speaker, there were many of them. I'm trying to see whether I can be able to get them. We have the Kenya Association of Breastfeeding, Kenya Bankers Association, DONA International. We have Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, Kenya Private Sector Alliance. We had even Uhuru Community Development Project that came in, Lactation Education Consultants, the University of Nairobi, and we had many other people, even individuals who came in. I was trying to look for a name of a lady who came in. She was somebody Kimani. So I just want to mention all of them and just say thank you for coming to contribute. If any further amendment is required, we are ready to do that. But Madam Speaker, I now want to call upon Honorable, as I urge the House and the members to support this bill. By the way, it is the third time, Madam Speaker, this bill has come. I don't know who normally kills it. It has been passed in this House 2 times, first Parliament, then second Parliament, the 11th Parliament, 12th Parliament, Madam Speaker, but somehow it was killed somewhere, I think in the Senate. I now thank God that it is being dealt now in this House. And so I hope, Madam Speaker, that once we pass it, it will become into law. And the mothers of this country will forever be grateful. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I call upon Honorable Wanyonyi to second the bill, he for she. Thank you.
Please proceed, Member for Kwanza, Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to actually second this motion by dear lady.
What is out of order, Honorable Member for Westlands?